And we're back. If you're just joining us, I am Mr. MFB, and I'm on this platform that stands for More Football, joined by my host, Derek Ingram. If you're just joining and tuning back in, we were just discussing the Liverpool and Manchester City game that ended in a stalemate. And now we're going to be moving on to the game that came right after that, which was the Sheffield versus Bournemouth game. Now, in that Sheffield versus Bournemouth game, both teams really needed these points.
Yes.
I don't know about you, Derek, but I picked Sheffield as one of my teams to go on this year.
Yeah, they just chipped too many goals.
Yeah.
They leaked too many goals. They make too many errors at the back.
Yeah.
From the goalkeeper, too, because one of the goals came from the goalkeeper making a mistake, and Kluivert came in. I think it was his second goal and scored from the edge of the 18-yard box.
The great Patrick's son.
Yes.
The great
also a former Newcastle player.
Sheffield got their goal through Ollie McBurney in the 97th minute. That was actually his very first open play Premier League goal this year, so hats off to him. Hopefully your run can start from her. In regards to Bournemouth, their 3 goals came from Marcus Taverner. He got 2, one in the 12th, one in the 51st. And Justin Kluivert, who we were just talking about, who was a former Newcastle fan. Newcastle player, sorry. His dad was a former Newcastle player. Sorry about that. Let's put some respect on it. Scored in the 45th minute, in the 3rd minute of extra time. This game was conducted at Bramall Lane. Because of that, Bournemouth took the 3 points home, the Cherries. They came into the game on 9 points, 4 points above the drop zone, so I felt that this was a huge game for them, to put some breathing room between themselves and the rest of the pack. I think they were flirting with relegation for a few seasons, so this was a game against Sheffield that I felt like they desperately needed to win, and they picked up the 3 points, so job well done. In regards to Sheffield, another loss. Again, I feel like they're going to be on the way down. Sorry, Sheffield fans, that's just how I see it. And, we're moving on. They're probably not going to like that segment, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Again, it's not personal.
No.
It's just sports.
Just football.
So, moving on.
Yeah.
The 3rd game of the day.
Yeah.
You remember which one that was?
The 3rd game of the day was
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest and
Brighton and
which
Hove
was a
Albion.
good game.
I thought that was a good game as well.
That was a good game.
So in that game, it actually finished 2-3. So Brighton got off to a bad start in that game, actually.
They did.
Nottingham scored the first one through Anthony Elanga.
Yeah.
That was actually a good goal.
A good goal came in across from the right.
Gibbs White
headed it in.
Yeah. Back post.
Headed it in, back post.
And then after that, Brighton kind of took over. I thought that in that game, De Zerbi, I felt like his emotions got the better of him.
Which is always the case with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets too involved instead of remaining professional and, leading his players. I think
He's spiky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
He wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah, he does. And it's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I agree. And, on top of that, it's like I feel like his mentality in that respect then translates onto the way that his team actually plays football.
But Brighton is a good team.
They're a good team. It's funny. I had my reservations about that striker that they just brought in.
They have players that you've never heard of, and they bring them in for
cheap.
$1 million, $2 million, $3
Sell them on the high.
Sell them for $100 million.
Yeah.
Casado, perfect example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna do the same with your boy Evan Ferguson.
Yeah, they will do the same.
Yeah.
That it's a feeder club. I consider them like an Ajax.
Yeah.
One of them teams,
Definitely. And the striker that they brought in, João Pedro, is that his name?
The Brazilian. He came from Watford.
I actually didn't rate him that highly.
No.
But he's proven me wrong. In terms of his output.
I think where De Zerbi is playing him, he's not playing him as an out-and-out striker.
Yeah. He's involved in the leg. It's like a false nine.
False nine. So it's suiting him.
Absolutely.
I always thought he was a winger.
Okay.
So when he was at Watford,
right,
that's where he played. So.
And he got the 2 goals that
one
was
a penalty,
One was the penalty. Yeah. They actually ran up 3-1. the game seemed to be dead and buried, and then Gibbs White, which is
Right.
Nottingham's hope and joy,
Yes.
scored, smashed a penalty in the 76, put a little bit of respect on the scoreline, and that ended 3-2.
Yeah.
So the 3 points went to Brighton in the quest for another European
And
spot.
that's saying that Nottingham Forest has lost a striker as well, and it's going to be out till the new year. So they have to look at where they're going to get goals from.
Yeah. And Lewis Dunk also got a red in the
Yes.
last bits of that game.
Yes.
I didn't understand that one too much from both sides. I didn't understand it from his side or
now
the
in the
referee.
EPL, you cannot. Back in the day, as you know,
You
they
can-
used to cuss out the refs
Yeah.
and all that. You can't do that anymore.
Unacceptable.
It's called dissent to the referee, and they will show you a card,
They're not tolerating it.
and they're not tolerating it.
Simple as that. So yeah, Dunk got the red. I actually like him as a defender, but
Yeah, it's
you
good.
know,
It's good.
you just need to take a couple games on the side after that. And with that, Brighton
And they have
goes
a
up.
big game come this weekend. They play Chelsea.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that. So yeah, with that said, Brighton moves up onto 22 points, I believe.
Yeah.
And they're on track to get another
They're in 8th
European,
place behind me.
get another European
Yes,
finish because that's their standard now.
Yeah.
Which is, that's big things for Brighton and Hove Albion. May it long continue. After that, we had Burnley versus West Ham. Now, this game was same. Burnley, for me, is actually going to be the team that finished at the very bottom. And you
Yeah.
know what? It's sad because when they were down in the championship, they were playing such open and expensive football underneath
But you're
Vincent
not in the
Kompany.
championship.
Exactly. And you know,
You can't play that type of football.
It don't work.
With the type
of quality.
With championship players,
Yeah.
you cannot play that type of football in the Premier League.
it's just not going to work.
It's not going to work.
And you know, with Burnley, right, it's sad because every single year there's a team like that comes up, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like yo-yo.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you're watching them, you can't, like, even when they score, it looks like such hard work.
Yeah, it
You know what I
does.
mean? To get the goal.
And not only that, but we're used to a Burnley that was a defensive team. Because remember, when
Sean Dyche was there.
They were a defensive team.
They used to pick up points because of that
Right,
too.
right.
Yeah.
And then they got relegated, and
Yeah.
they went on to the championship, and they came back with this different brand of football.
And you
this is-
might just have to remodel that again.
Yeah.
Go back to when it is.
Good luck on that.
For real. On the flip side, we had West Ham, who actually went down in that game because Burnley actually ran ahead in that game.
Yeah.
And it took until the 88th minute for an own goal for them to draw level. And then in the 90-plus minute, Thomas Souček, who's been on fire recently for club and country, came up with the goods after some great work by Kudos. I think he is out
love
of this
him.
world.
He is a type of player that could change the game
Absolutely.
on a sixpence.
As an Arsenal fan, that game when we got dumped out of the EFL, that was all Kudos.
Right.
Everyone was on this, I want to come out of this. Well, not everyone, but most Arsenal fans
Right.
were on this, I don't want to be in this Mickey Mouse tournament. First of all, Arsenal fans out there, we haven't done enough in the last couple of years to be calling anything Mickey Mouse. And if the EFL is big enough for City, it's big enough for us.
It's big enough for me. I ain't won a trophy in 60 odd years.
I think that anybody, if given the opportunity, would you have a trophy or would you not have a trophy?
Of course.
I just think it's a no-brainer. So that just fell on deaf ears to
If
me.
it's big enough for United.
It's big enough for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, West Ham got their 3 points and they also moved up the pecking order and took their 3 points. A hard-fought away win that was at Turf Moor.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So kudos off to them. Vincent Kompany's man, fell to another defeat, but it is what it is. Hopefully things turn around for you. I just can't see it, my brother. Next, we will be going on to, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that 105 million that West Ham spent, took from us
Declan Rice.
on Declan Rice,
They spent it well.
spent it well, and I think it was some of the best business
They
that
spent
anybody
it
did in
well.
the winter transfer market.
Yeah, they got two midfielders.
Summer
from
transfer
Aj-
market,
They
sorry.
got two midfielders from Ajax
And they got James Ward-Prowse.
and James Ward-Prowse.
And he is, I think, his top quality.
Yes.
So, on to the next one. So, shout out to Souček. I want to do that one more time because, my brother, you are like in a purple patch right now.
Yeah, definitely.
And they moved on to 20 points.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Luton Town versus Crystal Palace. Now, this game was an anomaly for me because I really thought that Crystal Palace was gonna go there
Yeah,
and do something, especially with Elise coming back.
Elise, but they lost Eze.
Eze is deadly.
They lost him.
Eze is deadly.
But I think Crystal Palace has one of the most underrated attacking trios in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of Roy coaching them. I don't know. I don't know if they don't have the midfielders to get them the ball.
Yeah. It's a lot going on there.
It's a lot going on there, but that guy, Elise, his goal that he got.
That's for me.
That could go. That was better than
You think?
what's his name's goal? Because the creativity in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He picked the ball up from the touchline on the right side.
Should pace.
Dribbling,
technique,
cutting in.
Back post. Sweet as you like it.
And that's not the first time
He's done that. He done that against Manchester United last year. Yeah. And the free kick that he scored, that one didn't go in terms of like the dribbling.
It's like he could turn the game on when he wants to. Like, let's bored. Yeah. Okay, I'm bored now. I'll go score.
Funny enough, I want to say this. I'm a big French fan as well, right? And I don't.
They haven't picked him for.
They have never picked him. I don't see how, if he continues to play in this form, Ousmane Dembele keeps him out of that position.
Especially after Dembele's performance tonight.
His performances, period, over the last 2 to 3 years of his career, in my opinion, have been wayward. When he was at Barcelona, I have a friend, Fraser, shout out 700. Can't stand him. He went to PSG. I have PSG fans. Can't stand him. I'm a French fan. In the finals, I think that he was a big reason as to why we didn't win the game. He's the one that gave away the penalty in the first half. A lot of people forget that. But, you know, I don't want to get on to you. It's not personal. It's just sports. But at the end of the day, I think that guys like Elise, who are younger and better than you and are actually suited for the left side because they're left-footed.
And stronger.
I think that, you know, your time's coming to an end very soon. But getting back onto the Luton game, Luton actually went ahead in that game. Yeah. All goals came in the second half. Within an 11-minute period, which could only be described as a game coming to life. Because before that, it was kind of like dreary. I can't wait for the next one to come on.
But going to Luton.
It's going to be big for everybody.
For everybody.
I agree.
Everybody has to go there and play.
I agree.
It's a tiny ground.
I agree.
Fans are on top of you.
Kenilworth Road.
That's what it.
So, everybody watch out for Luton, especially when you go and make the trip down there, because you need to come with your A game, because them boys ain't coming.
So Luton took the 3 points.
Yeah. And they went up to 9 points to actually 4 points above the drop zone.
4 points above drop zone.
So for me personally, like I said, I think that it's going to be Sheffield, Burnley, and Everton. You think otherwise?
I think Everton's got enough to pull it out. I really do. We'll talk about the Everton game, but
all right. So with that one said, Luton went above the drop zone by 4 points, and Crystal Palace stayed mid-table. I think there's a little bit of work to do there. Like you said, they have all the attacking options. I think they just need to tighten up that back line a little bit. I think they leak goals.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, it's should be mentioned that Elise was actually out through injury for a couple of months all this time, and this was his first game back. So for him to pull that out, it was like beyond amazing, right? Derek believes that that's the goal of the season so far.
That's my opinion. Everybody's gonna go after Garnacho. What's his name?
Garnacho's goal
against Everton. Great goal.
It was Rooney-esque.
But when I look at creativity of the girls and how the girls came about,
Elise is up there.
Elise is up there.
I think technically, it would be hard to take it away from him. So I'd agree with you on that. I think when it comes to a pure strike, plus, you know, United's always going to overhype that stuff.
Yeah.
Moving on. Newcastle versus Chelsea. So this one I'm going to give over to Derek because obviously he's a Newcastle fan. Newcastle won that game 4-1. They went ahead first. Raheem Sterling equalized, and then it was all Newcastle from there. Take the floor, man.
That was a good victory for Newcastle in particular.
You want to go over the people that scored?
Yeah, we could do that. Okay. The first goal came in the...
Hold on. In the 13th minute.
In the 13th minute.
Isak.
Isak was slipped through by my young midfielder, 17-year-old, one to look out for, Lewis Miley. Slipped him through, and Isak
That's what he
put
does.
Newcastle ahead. A great striker. Happy Newcastle got him when we did.
A lot of people wanted him.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted him. Different type of striker. He could play out wide. He could play down the middle. He could come drop into the midfield. Different type of striker. He, very versatile to Colin Wilson, who builds the ball up bullish. He's a
Kind of
good
fox
striker
and he
as
buff.
well. And, yeah.
Yeah.
But Isak was a good girl. Then
Yeah, LaSalle's in the 60th.
LaSalle scored in the 60th minute a great header off a set piece. Free kick given up by Sterling, I think it was.
Yeah.
Sterling gave up the free kick. And the header came in and crossed from Gordon, and LaSalle's put it in like a striker. Looked like a striker when he headed that ball in.
I want to give a special mention and a special shout out to Sterling, man. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people thought that his like it was kind of over after the Manchester City thing he was gonna go down. I think that has actually proved his critics wrong. And
Yeah.
you know what? People
He
need
scored a good goal.
Good goal, man. The guy is just a good player.
He just needs help around it.
Facts. Chelsea's. It seems like every time Chelsea's getting together, it falls back apart.
But how you spend all that money and you don't buy a striker?
Well, they bought the guy Nico Jackson. And that's
But
probably
he's
not.
not a striker. He's a false nine.
He's a forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not,
It's
he's
a
not
difference.
a striker.
Yeah.
Drogba was a striker.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's a forward.
He's a forward.
It's not
He's
a
not
striker.
Now,
Yeah.
if you guys got a striker.
Oh, yeah. What we in for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the game.
Yeah, Joe Linton in the 61st.
Joe Linton, arrow off the old man. I don't know why he's still playing in
Thiago Silva.
Chelsea's back line. But anyway, it's just football, Chelsea. Don't take it personal.
Facts.
Yes, it's good
Yeah.
and all that, but you got to look at somebody else. I mean,
He looked like he pulled a Hemi after that. Like
he
just because it was like,
basically didn't it look like he was like a deer in headlights and gave the ball away.
yeah. And he couldn't recover either.
Yeah. And then
Joe Linton powerfully runs from the midfield with you
yeah,
guys.
he does.
Well,
He
like
does.
once he gets up, up to steam, it's just not gonna, you're not gonna
yeah.
catch him.
Yeah, and to think we bought him as a striker.
Yeah. That's big too.
Huh?
His been a revelation for you,
Yeah,
if you
he
ask me.
definitely has. He's definitely turned it around. Eddie Howe recognized that he wasn't a striker and dropped him in the midfield, and it's been
He's been doing his
doing
thing.
his thing. It's made the Brazil national squad since it's been a midfielder. So
And your last goal came from Gordon.
a
83rd.
very good, yeah, very well work goal.
Cutting him from the left.
Cutting him from the left and place the ball past the goalkeeper.
And with that, you guys picked up a well-deserved win at St. James Park.
Yes.
One thing about you guys is that I think that you're getting back to that title of being the entertainers for your fans at home.
Yeah,
In terms of just like putting people away.
They definitely play the 12th man. Definitely a help. It's a fortress up there.
Yep.
The only game we've lost this year up there was the one we shouldn't have against Liverpool, and in the Champions League to Dortmund. But otherwise than that, that's been unstoppable at here.
Yep.
Not only that, we have a lot of injuries. We have like 16 players out injured.
Yeah.
First team players. So we don't even have a bench right now. So
But you still
we're
get it
using
done.
a lot of under 19s because we play as a team.
Yeah. It's a unit.
Even if you saw the interview with Mauricio Pochettino after seeing his team were soft, they didn't play as a unit, they didn't play as a team. You could spend as much money as you want on individuals. But if you don't have a team, as you know, because you guys play as a team too, it's not going to work.
I agree.
Yeah.
Chelsea came into this game on 16 points. Newcastle came into the game on 20 points. Therefore, Newcastle has 23. Chelsea remains on 16. Chelsea are going to have to get it together if you want to do something of merit this season.
Yes.
The game after that was Brentford and Arsenal.
Another good game.
For me, honestly, I thought that
You controlled it and
and we did what we had to do.
Yeah.
I think that Arsenal has been lacking a little bit of, not even a little bit, a lot of fluidity this season, like since the beginning. I think that I'll take the 1-0 wins
Uh-huh.
and cruise to a title if we can do so.
Right.
But I fell in love with Arsenal because of the ball that they played.
Right.
The way that it was exciting. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's bittersweet when we get a 1-0 win like that.
Right.
Simply because it's like, I know that we have the attacking options to click way better than that.
Right.
Kai Havertz coming on and scoring, I think that he needed that immensely because he struggled. Like, he struggled a lot since he came in.
Do you think your coach is playing him where he should be playing?
I don't think you guys are ready for this. I don't want Kai Havertz to be playing anywhere on my pitch. Just like that. But I'm gonna keep it real though, right? That's how I feel, right? It's not personal, it's just sports. But as long as someone puts on an Arsenal jersey, I'm always gonna be rooting for you to do well. Right. I don't like Nketiah. It's a lot of players that I don't think that they're good enough for the team, but as long as they're got on the bench, I'm going to support them. But it doesn't mean that I have to like them.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that with Kai Havertz, he doesn't even know what his position is. He actually came out in the interview right after that and said that. He doesn't really know what his position is.
Well, the reason I ask you is because I watched the interview afterwards, and the commentator was saying, well, for Germany, he was playing left back.
Yeah.
And then in the other game, he was playing left side of midfield.
Yeah.
Now it's come to Arsenal, you're asking him to play number 10.
Yeah, or the 8, or the false 9.
Right.
Or the 9.
So what is his strongest position?
And you know what? Honestly, for me, I feel like when you have players like that.
And remember, this is a guy that scored the winning goal in Champions League
finals
for Chelsea.
Against City. Yeah. The thing is, right, is like, you can't take those things off of his CV.
No, you can't.
What he reminds me of a lot is Ozil. Okay. And the reason I say that is that I think that Ozil was far better technically gifted, because a lot of people will get on me about that. Oh, you're trying to compare these two.
Yourself.
Right? I think there are a lot of similarities between the two players.
Right.
1, they're both German. 2, they're both left-footed. 3,
right.
They're both overpaid, and I feel like we overpaid in the transfer budget for them.
Right.
3, they're very lackadaisical types of players. Like, you have to appreciate that type of player in order to get the most out of them, I guess.
Okay.
And me, I'm into players where it's like, whether you appreciate them or not, they're just gonna do the job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to come around and put a arm around you and all that. You're making 250 grand.
Right.
I shouldn't have to do all of that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, different strokes for different folks. I think that it was a routine being at the end of the day, and Brentford's not an easy place to go.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
But you also, I also want to ask you this question: your goalkeeper.
Oh, so Raya.
How do you feel?
No,
with
Ramsdale.
The situation with Ramsdale, because Ramsdale kind of had a stinker on, even though he had a clean sheet.
Yeah.
It was a stinker.
It was a stinker in the first half, right?
Yeah.
I just felt like he just couldn't find his feet beneath him. It was like,
You think he was nervous?
He was definitely nervous. I think what Arteta has done
Created.
And yeah, the situation. I agree. The situation that he's created has lent credence to Aaron Ramsdale losing confidence, but at the same time,
right.
He has to use that
as energy to fuel him to get his position back.
Thank you.
But
I don't think that Raya's been good either.
I also was listening to one of your podcasts. What's the black guy name? Baldhead. Black guy. Baldhead has podcast, also podcast.
Oh, Robbie.
Right. He's saying that Arteta created this because you guys got Brentford's goalkeeping coach. His staff now.
Right.
He kept, Arteta's Ramsdale's no good. Raya's better. Arteta went and got Raya. Now you created this. When I felt Ramsdale was the best up-and-coming English goalkeeper in England at the time. I felt he was better than Pickford.
Way better. You know what's funny about that, right? When asked about that specific question, all of the English media, even Piers Morgan and all these guys, were saying that the reason why, it might not have been Piers Morgan, it might have been that other guy that was Crystal Palace's owner before that.
Oh, Simon
Jordan. Saying that the reason why they take Everton's keeper is because Everton as a team face more shots. So that's their logic behind Pickford being the number one, which kind of makes sense. One thing about the English media, right? You guys have got a good way of like justifying whatever it is you want the narrative to be, right? Good on you. But me personally, I want a keeper in a winning team. Yeah. I don't, because I feel like that's the reason why England ain't winning nothing. You're putting all these players together, and I honestly feel like England has the best team on paper, and that's
I
as a
think so
French
too.
fan. That's as
I
a
think
French
so
fan.
too.
That's scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you don't have
When you play skirt football,
right, or when you pick people based off of this is why I picked them, as
Right,
opposed to this
right.
is why they should be picked.
he plays scared football.
So this is gonna end that way.
Yeah.
But getting back on topic with the whole Raya and Ramsdale situation, I don't think that Raya has done enough to solidify a starting berth. And every time he plays, he makes mistakes as well, but they get swept under the rug because the novelty is still there. Not just with Arteta, but with the fans as well.
Right.
And you know that as a fan yourself, when you get a new player, people are like, they're willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But when it comes to a player who's been there for a little while, even if they showed you good things, you're quick to criticize them and like out with the old and with the new. And it's like, but like you said, Ramsdale was good. I thought he was real good.
He was.
Aside from that blunder that he made that was very costly against Southampton last year, because I think that's where the
wheels dropped off for you.
for me, I feel like that's where that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
But everybody makes mistakes. You know what I mean? And he's still a young keeper, so he's got time to recover. But at the end of the day, we got the 1-0 win. I'm happy with that. I know people are going, oh, this guy's like Ligue 1. His negative. No, I'm not negative. I just want more for my club. You know what I mean? We're going up against Manchester City, Liverpool. We're going up against juggernauts in the game. We cannot win and overcome these players by being good. You need to be excellent. You know what I mean?
I'm going to give you my opinion. No. And I ain't going to jump off the subject, but I think what's going to happen is City and Liverpool's going to cancel each other out, which is going to allow you to slip in and take the title. That's how I see it right now.
If that happens,
No, seriously.
I'll be so happy.
Look at the league. Let's look at the league right now. Well, let's finish this and then we'll talk about
absolutely.
that.
And you know what? To your point, they actually did it this Saturday. They canceled each other out and let me go to the top of the game.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
I would have to agree with you.
Yeah.
By the way, that game was brought to you by the good people at Brentford, which happened at the GTEC Stadium.
Yeah.
So with that, Arsenal moved to the top of the league at 30 points.
30 points.
1 point ahead of Manchester City, 2 points ahead of Liverpool. The game that came after that was Tottenham and Aston Villa, I believe. Yes, it was. And for me, that was the game of the weekend.
It was.
It was back and forth. It was free-flowing football. Unai Emery, I love the way that he approaches football. Yeah. This man is like so dialed in and intelligent. And honestly, I feel like he is the most underrated manager in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And also, he has Ollie Watkins playing some of the best football. In my opinion, he is the best English striker in England right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to put Ivan Toney up there. I don't rate Ivan Toney.
I can't put Ivan Toney in there because Ivan Toney ain't played football this year.
In 8 months. It's going to be 8 months.
So
and
I can't put him in there.
That goal that Ollie Watkins scored was a carbon copy of the goal that Haaland scored.
Yeah.
Actually, in my opinion, it was a little bit better simply because he made the 1-2. Yeah. Tielemans played the ball into him. 1-2 with Kamara. Got the ball back. 2 touches. Boom, bam, goal.
Yeah.
Like any young player out there that looks to be a striker, this is who you should be looking at. He's strong, he's fast, he doesn't get nudged off the ball easily. He's great in the air.
First touch.
Because you saw the header that they ruled off. And that's another thing. With these offsides, right? Why can't we give, like, if they're a toenail millimeter offside, I feel like
I always say that. I'm like saying, like,
you should give the advantage to the attacker. And
I always say it. They say you're offside if any part of your body which is allowed to score the goal. So if your shoulder's off,
right?
I look at feet.
Me too.
You understand?
Me too.
I look at the feet, so I look at the lines on the field. But if your shoulder's over the line, you're offside.
And you know what else? It's like, this is where the discretion of and the football IQ of the referee has to come in when it comes to them training the referees.
Right.
Because there are certain instances where an offside, because there were a lot of offside goals in that game. I think Son scored like 2 offside goals that came back.
He did.
There are certain instances where the offside is a clear advantage.
Yes.
But then there are instances where the offside does give no advantage. There's still a lot of work for the player to do in order to get it in the back of the net.
Right.
I just feel like in those situations, you should give a little bit of the benefit to the attacker. And I'm saying this even if it goes against my team. just for the excitement of the league, as well as, again, using your discretion. Is like, he didn't get no type of advantage off of that. You know what I mean? And the defender still had a chance to either block it or whatever the case is, or that should be taken into context, but it wasn't, whatever. He still ended up scoring the winner.
Yeah.
And that was class.
Yeah.
Class. For me, I think it was right up on par. Like I said, just a little bit better than Holland's goal. Shout out to you. Come Gunners if you want to win a Giovanni Lo Celso got his first goal for Tottenham.
Yeah, he did. After being out on loan for 2 years, he came back and
Did his
scored a
thing.
goal, yeah.
Paul Torres, that header was
Yeah,
excellent,
it
bro.
was. But in saying that, Tottenham plays some good football, but they're too thin.
Yeah, the light,
They're very light. They don't have much of a bench.
the depth is not there.
It's not there. Now you see the playmakers out.
Madison.
You know,
Hey, I think he was, like, if he didn't get injured, I think that he was the best pickup in this window. I was actually upset that we didn't go in for him.
I was back said event there. It's come to me.
The guy is, like, so good.
Yeah.
He was instrumental in that 2-2 draw that they got with Ghana spot.
Yeah.
You know, moving on, Aston Villa with that win moved up to 4th place, 28 points. They're only 2
That
points
team
off.
that scares me.
Oh, they scare me too.
The team that scares me because Unai Emery.
30 seconds.
Unai Emery has them dialed in, and I think his probably one next to Pep and what's his name, probably the best coach in
I agree.
the EPL.
We're gonna move on to the Everton and Manchester United game. One of the goals of the season.
Garnacho.
Garnacho scored a great goal in the 3rd minute. Right after that, it was Rashford with a penalty in the 56th, and then right after that, it was a Martial, gets his consolation goal at the end, 3-0.
But Everton missed a lot of goals.
Yeah,
I watched that game.
And Onana got one of the saves of the season in that game
Yeah,
too,
they
off
did.
your boy Onana. No, I mean the guy in the middle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
African guy.
yeah.
His
I
goal
can't
too.
remember his name. Yeah.
So that wrapped up that game. They took the 3 points, and then the last game of the week, which will happen on the Monday, which is why we're filming today, was Wolves and Fulham. 2 penalties by Willian secured the 3 points at Craven Cottage,
Yeah.
and they wrapped up the week just like that.
Yep.
Wolves, to their credit, they battled, but it just wasn't enough in the end. And Fulham is a team that I actually admire.
Yeah, they play some attractive football. They have some good young talent, and they're a team to watch out for. Europe ambitions. So, yeah.
And with that concludes our segment of Spill the Sports and our weekend wrap-up. Going forward, we will be bringing you all of the wrap-ups from the weekend of football, as well as Champions League whenever we get the chance. You can look for Derek to be doing some of his analysis from him. We're just going to be coming at the end of the week to condense it and make it look professional for you guys on our YouTube platform. Remember, this is powered by MFB. As you can see, the merch that we're wearing. And look forward to seeing you guys as we go forward and we grow our channel. See you next time.
Peace.
Every time. So, after 13 games played in the Premier League, Arsenal sit on top of the tree going into December on 30 points after that 1-0 win at Brentford. After them comes Manchester City in 2nd place, slipped down from 1st on 29 points with that draw at the Etihad Stadium to Liverpool. Liverpool on 28 points because of that game as well. For the first time this season, Aston Villa broke into the top 4 after that win over Tottenham Hotspur, who they leapfrogged into the top 4 position. Tottenham falling out of the top 4 for the first time this season, now remaining in 5th place until next weekend on 26 points. Manchester United moved up the table into 6th position on 24 points after that 3-0 win at Everton. Newcastle in 7th place after their 4-1 demolition of Chelsea at home. Brighton and Hove Albion on 22 points in 8th place. West Ham, after that late winner, moved up to 9th on 20 points, 2 behind Brighton. 10th place and rounding out the top half of the table was Chelsea, who stayed on 16 points after that humiliating 4-1 loss at Stamford Bridge. at St. James Park. 11th goes to Brentford, who lost to Arsenal, league leaders, putting them on 16 points. Wolverhampton Wanderers, they lost 3-2 to Fulham, which means that they stayed on 15 points in 12th place. Crystal Palace in 13th after that loss away from home to Luton Town, as Olise scoring one of the goals of the season so far. They remain on 15 points. Fulham, after that 3-2 win at Wolves, move up to 14 on 15 points. Nottingham Forest slips to a defeat earlier on in the day, and they are on 13 points in 15th place. 16th place is occupied by Bournemouth, who won their game 3-2. They're on 12 points. Luton Town in 17th place with 9 points, 4 points clear of the drop zone. They'll be needing as much as they can get to stay up this season. Sheffield rounded it out in 18th place on 5 points. Everton on 4 points after that 10-point deduction for their breach of financial fair play. And at the bottom of the table is Burnley with only 1 win this season. Vincent Kompany's men need to get it together if they wish to stay up this season. And with that, we conclude our first episode of Spildy Sports. Please tune in again next week. We hope to see you.